Hello, lads and ladies. How are we? Another week, another match day. We are back for some more League One Roundup. Now, we are discussing match day 9 or match day 8 for a lot of the clubs in League One. We'll be going through the key results and the key goals at the weekend. A lot of goals, a lot of events happened, and a lot of key moments I felt, getting into Stephen Presley territory with key moments here this weekend. We'll also be having a look at the League One table as we start to approach the 10-game marker that everyone seems to call it. No, we're not quite a quarter of the way yet. We're nowhere near halfway there, but 10 games, all of a sudden we can have a look at the League One table. A lot of managers, including Gareth Ainsworth and Simon Grayson, have claimed they are yet to look at the League One table. We'll also be having a look towards tomorrow's games and having an in-depth look on a couple of the League One clubs' business and which manager could go first. Can you see me? Can you hear me clearly? Let me know in the chat down below. But before we do, let me just say hello to everyone in the chat. Hello to Leeds 2021. Hello to Callum. Hello to Callum Rotherham United Football. A lot of Callums. Hello, another Cal. Hello, Andrew. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. Hello, Paul. Thank you for joining me. Thanks to Andrew. Hello, the Hybrid Stand. Give it the Hybrid Stand a quick subscription. He's a young lad, Fleetwood town content creator, just like myself a few years ago. So go and give the little lad a little bit of support, and I really would appreciate it. So this week was eventful, wasn't it? And let's get into it with the results. Now, as you can see, they are going to tick along. We're just going to go quickly through them this week. I think that is personally the best way to go through them. Now, Burton against Lincoln. Now, Lincoln have been unbelievable away. Another victory for them. That is their second victory on the road from the first 5 games. They won 5-1 at Cambridge, now 2-1 at Burton. It's a good start for the Brewers. However, for Lincoln, the Brewers, though, last year ended really strongly. But this year, they are 7 without a win. They have drawn 3 of those. But Hasselbank was getting in play, and he started the season well. I think it was 2 victories to start the season. They beat Sunderland early on. They got a win against Shrewsbury away from home. So it was a great start. But that form is worrying, and they're slipping down that table. They are currently 15th in the league. They played 9 games. They've won 3, drawn 3, lost 3. And so have a lot of clubs, really. I think there's 5 or 6 clubs that have got the same record as them. There's 7 clubs, actually, that have got 12 points in League One. So it is a downward trend. They are higher up than Lincoln, but Lincoln are kind of on a bit of an upward trend. They've won 2 of the last 3. So you've seen in the Premier League, Tottenham and Spurs, one won the first 3, one's lost the last 3, and then the other lost the first 3 and won the last 3. So, momentum and an upward trend in football is huge, and that's what the Imps have got. Florini getting a goal, it's massive for him. That's his 3rd in 4. And Anthony Scully, you can't keep him quiet for long. He's one of the top goal scorers in this league for a reason. Probably should have had 2, really, but it's a good start for the Imps. They just need to find that consistency now. They've won 3 of the first 9, and they've just lost, 4 of the first 9. If they can draw, maybe 2 of those into a point, then all of a sudden you're on 13 points, and you're 7th in the table. So let's not think no more about it. Between 17th and 7th, there's 2 points in it. So it is all to play for. It's still very early on in the league campaign, and I am looking forward to seeing how some of these clubs from last year that did well get on. Cambridge against Fleetwood. It was a Simon Grayson masterclass, first of all. It was first goals for James Hill and Paddy Lane. Paddy Lane came on at left wing back, really, at 2-1 down. And Grayson put him onto the right-hand side and just cut inside and hit it into the top corner. Cambridge had the threats, Ironside, good player, May in midfield, Brophy, O'Neill are very good, good Stearns. They like to pack out the midfield with a 5 in midfield and a 3 at the back, if they can do that, or even play a 4-5-1. And that's why they've been successful so far this season. Now, they're in the top half, which is an unbelievable achievement. They've won 3 of the first, 8 games, 9 games. So, 12 points in the first 9 games. They beat Portsmouth last week as well. So, they're on that upward momentum. They're not losing many games of football. They've won 3 of the last 6, I think, and they've drawn 2. So, good signs for the U's. And do I think they can stay up? I do. I think they've got enough goals and they've got enough about them. Shiloh Tracy looked the real deal the other day. And a point was probably about fair. I was shocked that Fleetwood got back into it. But remind you, that's 14 points collected for Fleetwood under Simon Grayson from losing positions. They only got 17 under Joey Barton in 107 games extra as well. So it's a good sign for the Cods. They do go down 1-0 a lot more, though, than they did under Joey. Let's take nothing about that. Charlton against Portsmouth. Now, it was two sub goals for Charlton that got them back into the goal. Sean Clare, the former Oxford man, and Josh Davison, the former Forest Green man. And it was Harris and Curtis for Portsmouth, bringing back the 2018 days. Now, Portsmouth, again, had the best defence in the league last week, we mentioned, and now they've conceded 4 goals in 2 games, which is a worry. Yes, of course, but they're scoring goals. But they need to win games of football, and they need to do it quickly. That's 6 without a win for Portsmouth now. And for a club like Portsmouth, it's not good enough. They've drawn 3, yes, but they got 10 points from the first 4 games. It's just mad how football can change just like that in a few games. And I believe Portsmouth will be back to winning ways. They've shown, a good mentality to come back late against Plymouth. I was, so annoyed with them, really. And I said, if it was Jacket, they'd be fuming. I don't see what's changed since the Cowleys come in. The Cowleys are the right man, and they need time, and they need the players that they need back in. It's going to be a process, but Kenny Jacket always had them fighting. And yes, he had 4 years, but remember, Danny Cowley is a good manager, and he needs those resources. He had them at Lincoln towards the end. I just think, will Pompey get on his back a bit too early? Because that's a football club that wasn't like Lincoln, are expected to go up. Let's be honest, Portsmouth Football Club are currently, 10th in League One. They're 2 points off the playoffs, 2 points off Wycombe. They're 7 off Sunderland, so that's already not a good sign. Fleetwood are only a point behind them. 12 points isn't a bad return from the first 9 games. Don't get me wrong. It's not an awful start. But when you've got to have a look at it, 7 clubs are on 12 and they're only a point off 17th. You do need to look at the root cause. And when you need to get on a winning run, it's as simple as that. And when you are on a losing run, it's hard to get out of, and you need tough leaders. And I don't see many leaders in that side. They used to have, your Watmores, your Nailers, your Ben Closes, your Pitmans. Those players that could spark it. Then you had your magic men like Jamel Lowe. Curtis isn't the same player anymore. I know he scored, 2 in his last 3. But they just need that little bit of firepower. And with other clubs, I feel like they've got it. In League One, you don't need to be the best team to go up. You need to be, 1, the nastiest team. 2, probably the toughest team, mental, physical, because 46 games in a League One season is tough. Sheffield Wednesday fans thought they won the league after 4 games. Now they're finding out it's a bit more difficult than it makes out. You've got to be ready for the fight. And if they're not, they're going to get found out. And I talk about the fight, Charlton, they're an absolute disgrace. 6 points from 9 games. Already, they're 8 points off the playoffs. They're already 13 points behind the top 2. They're only 2 points off bottom. And basically, the substitutions kept Atkins in the game the other day, I was hearing. It was good that he brought the subs on early and he impacted the game. Do I want Atkins to be sacked? Absolutely not. 9 games into a season, he only came in with 12 games to go last year. He's literally had 20 games. And the recruitment in the summer was good. It was spot on. They brought enough bodies in. Probably brought a bit too many in the end. Probably rushed it. And they scattered it out well, but then they brought in 5 or 6 players and it's hard to gel. So it's like they've got the new squad a month late. They brought Lavelle in late. They brought Henderson in late. They brought Lee in late. So it is going to be hard to gel. I think Charlton, they've got a tough run of fixtures. That's no doubt about it. A tough tie tomorrow. Then they've got Fleetwood on Saturday, which more likely will be the first 3 points away from home of this season. The only side they've beaten is one of the sides below them this year in Crewe. So something needs to change. Charlton fans, let me know. What are you thinking about Atkins? He's normally a positive impact on football clubs, but I do worry, what is he like when the going gets tough? I really do believe that, and it's going to be interesting. Now, going on to promotion, we're Ipswich, 21st against 11th, and we're talking about Ipswich Town and Sheffield Wednesday here. Now, Sheffield Wednesday started the season very well indeed. Since then, they've not won in 4. Morecambe, Plymouth, Ipswich in there, Shrewsbury as well. They are tough games to go to, but they should be winning them. I don't think they should be winning every week. But again, 1-0 up, seeing out the game. Peacock Farrell drops the ball, and Macaulay Bonne, who Ipswich's best player this year, the best signing. He's come from nowhere. He's an Ipswich fan. He's an Ipswich lad. He loves the occasion. Basically, stands behind him, snatches the ball off him in the last minute. What an error by Peacock Farrell, by the way. The first 5 games of the season, Peacock Farrell's like Manuel Neuer. The last 5 games of the season, he's been like Lloris Karius. Honestly, he's been not at his best, but it's confidence. Confidence in football is everything. And then again, Connor Chaplin puts it away. Great finish into the corner. Great composure. And Ipswich, the positives can take. 7 points from 8 is not a good return at all. But they've got 4 points from Lincoln away and Sheffield Wednesday at home. They would have taken that. They would have only taken a point on Saturday if they can win against Doncaster tomorrow. That is a must-win game. If they don't win tomorrow, Ipswich Town are going into October without a win at home. Just like they played. I think they played Wimbledon at home. They played Morecambe at home. They played Sheffield Wednesday at home. They've been Doncaster at home, Bolton at home. So they played a lot of home games without getting a win. So they need to get up and running tomorrow. Doncaster again, bottom of the league. There are no mugs. It is that old-fashioned saying. They're getting better. They were unlucky the other day to lose, by 2 penalties, 2 mistakes. But that's everything in football. Now we go on to MK Dons. Now, I fear for my life a bit tomorrow. MK Dons had 84% possession against Gillingham away from home last week. Had 79% of possession this week against Wickham and won 1-0. Now, I just have on my notes when I was watching the games and looking into it, that was never a red card on Anthony Stewart, by the way. The referee has got that completely wrong. And another day, Wickham win that. They have a headed goal by Tazza offside. He was offside, in my opinion. But again, a good call. And then a penalty, Troy Parrott puts away. That's his 3rd goal in 8. Again, kind of brushing off these bad spells that Millwall and Ipswich off. And MK Dons like to give these players chances. That, not a good experience at other clubs. Your Richard Keoghs, your Cameron Jeromes. Now you look at Troy Parrott. And then, they just give chances out. And I like that from the Dons. And it's a great win. It's 4 wins from 5 now at home. And they currently sit 3rd in the league for a reason. 18 points. 2 points a game, by the way, my ad. I do like a team that can do that. They've won 5 of the first 9. They've only drawn 3 of those as well. So, they're on a good run. They need to keep going. Manning's done a good job. And by the way, this is the side that lost the manager about 10 days before the season started. To bring a new manager in, to settle it down, to, settle the squad down, buy a load of players from an old manager, and then still to perform like this is unbelievable. MK Dons take a bow. And to beat Wickham, by the way, yes, I know they've only won 1 of the first 5 away games, drawn 2, lost 2. But it's a tough game. Wickham are a good side. They're 6th in the league for a reason. They've won 4 of the first 8, drawn 2. 14 points. It's a great result, especially at home. A clean sheet as well. And what I do like, MK Dons got the lead. 11 of their 18 points this year have come from when they conceded the first goal. I like the fact they got 1-0 up and they saw it out. They've done things now already in these first 9 games that promotion sides can do. And they're showing that little bit of toughness, which is good to see. Which you want to see in your sides. And just a shame that you've got Sunderland and Wigan in front of you that are unbelievable. So, MK Dons 4 wins from 5, Sunderland 5 wins from 5, Now we're going to Morecambe against Accrington. Now, Morecambe 3-3. Accrington, Morecambe have been involved in 29 goals this year. They've scored 15 goals this year already. Stockton scored 8. He was then again with 2 goals. And Phillips, a former Accrington loanee last year, got a goal as well. But Bishop on the score sheet, twice a penalty and a well-taken goal. And Butcher scored an absolute sublime strike. So there's positives to take from both sides, really. But, Butcher getting back on the score sheet, Bishop getting on the score sheet as well. No Dion Charles, which is interesting. I've heard Coleman isn't happy with him. They've had a falling out and he's going in January. So Accrington are a club that, you play for us, you do well, and we will say. You look at Cameron Burgess, that's what you need in a football club. So, unbelievable game, and both sides doing well. Morecambe, totting up that league tally. 3 wins, 2 draws, 4 defeats for them. And Accrington just outside the playoffs. 13 points. Accrington, 25% safe. Would you say 52 points? In my opinion, is the safety marker. Let's just see how they do. We're going to Oxford against Gillingham now. Oxford 1-0 up again. Gillingham again come from behind. Gillingham are 19th in the league and they've only won 1 of the first 9, but they have drawn 5. Now, this has always been Gillingham's problem. The last 2 years, every time they needed a win, they drew. And that league table doesn't present Gillingham in a good way with the way they've been playing. I think they deserve a few more points than what they've got. They probably could have lost a few games that they've drawn, so maybe evened out. Those draws just about tot you up. Fleetwood have learned that in the last 2 games by, drawing 2-2 in both games. Literally kept us above the relegation zone. If they can keep doing that, they'll be fine. Great team spirit to come back from 1-0 down against Oxford. Oxford, again, currently 13th on 12 points. They have dropped 10 points from scoring the first goal this season. Only Ipswich have the same amount. 10 points. They're 9 games in. 9 games, and they've dropped 10 points. That's like they've been ahead in 4 games and they've drawn it. It's a difference between going into the top 2 and finishing like mid-table. If you can keep doing that, it's criminal. You can't drop a point a game. Oxford will be thereabouts. I've seen enough of them. I've seen they're a good side. They create enough chances, and they will go on an upward trend very, very soon. 3-3-3 is their record so far. 12 points. They're only 2 points off the playoffs. A good week, win 2 games. It's all forgotten about, really. So we talk about good teams and team spirit and coming from 1-0 down. Plymouth Argyle, by the way. Doncaster, Jordi Awula scoring. They're going to be their talisman this year. His first goal in the EFL for 2 years. He's just not had the breaks. Left Coventry after they went up. Then could hardly get in at Portsmouth. Now in at Doncaster. Back from injury. Scoring again. But 2 penalties given away. It's criminal how you give it away. In the last minute as well, Argyle, I tell you what a good run they're on. They lost the first game of the season. No one is talking about Ryan Lowe's side. They're on a high. They've won 5 of the last 8. They've drawn 3. Haven't lost. Unbelievable. They score goals. They hardly concede. They come back from losing positions. They keep on to wins. They're good at home. They're strong away. Why can't this Plymouth side not challenge the top 6 this year? They've got Hardy and Jeff got up front. They've got Conor Grant in midfield who will score goals. They've got a solid back 4 now. Last year it was like Dumb and Dumber playing at the back, or those 4 from the tweenies. Let's be honest about it. Now they've got a back 4 that can actually defend. The 4th in the league for a reason. The 4 points above Rotherham, who are placed just below them. Why not? Argyle fans, dare to dream. That's what I'd say, dare to dream. And, I like Ryan Lowe's side. They've got energy, they've got character. He speaks well. He's got a good motivational side about him. Plymouth Argyle, they'll be up. If they're not in the top 10 this year, I'll be very, very surprised. Rotherham now, just a place below. They should be on 16 points. They had 23 shots. It was block shots on target or on target. But Crewe, a last-minute penalty, and that is what it's like. If you can keep blocking shots and keep the score down to 1-0, there's always an opportunity to get something in League One. In any league, there's always an opportunity. Porter, come on. I think he's 35 now. Great penalty. 1-1. 6 points now. 4 of those have come in the last 3 games. So on a bit of an upward trend now, which is good to see. And we also talk about upward trends. Shrewsbury again. 8 points now for the season. Those have all come in the last 5 games. So, again, starting to look at more mid-table form. And both their wins this year have come from when they've gone 1-0 down to Gillingham and now Wimbledon. 2-1 win at home at their home stadium. It's a great result for them. I'm buzzing for Steve Cottrell because he's had a tough time of it lately, really, in my opinion. They've not had the rub of the green. They've got a great away point at Sheffield Wednesday, which is a good point. Berahino making his debut, 25,000 fans in the stadium. Good to see them up and running. Sunderland, they had over 32,000 fans in League One the other day. It is incredible what they do. 5 wins from 5 at home. A great response to last week, a penalty going against them in the 96th minute, 97th minute. Sunderland of last year or 2 years ago, possibly 3 years ago, don't win that game of football. They're mentally weak, they go on a bad run. But not this Sunderland side. 19 points from the first, 8 games. They've won 6, only lost 1. And that was to Burton earlier in the season. They reacted well to that. this Sunderland side have it in abundance, and Bolton are a good side. They probably could have got something. They had good chances through, Johnson, Apollon, and Doyle. And Bolton sit, where they do for a reason, ninth in the table for a reason. They are normally better away from home as well. Bolton, a problem for Bolton is in the last 5 games, they've not scored in 4 of them. The other game, they beat Ipswich 5-2 away from home. So I tell you what, Bolton, they're going to be a strange side this year, and they've got a tough game tomorrow. Isgrove's out, Kachunga could come in, but Wigan, lost to Sunderland on the opening day. 2-1. Since then, they've won 6, drawn 1. They've had one of the best starts to the league they've ever had. I think they've won 5 on the road for the first time in 4 years. By the way, that year they won promotion. White scoring goals. That's 3 and 2 now. Callum Lang on song as well. So, why can't this, energetic, young, hungry Wigan side go all the way? They've got everything in abundance, really, in my opinion. And I really like them. I think they're, one of the best sides in the division. And I really do, believe that. Let's go and check on some of your comments before we go into the League One table. If you could give the stream a like, by the way, guys, that'd be appreciated. We're going on 21 likes. Let's see if this stream can get to 50 likes. And also, if you're new, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 7,100. So if you could subscribe down below, that'd be appreciated. And also, hit notifications, because I'll be uploading a late vlog tomorrow. Fleetwood against MK Dons, away from home. I will be going. And I want to see as many of you there in the first half an hour as I can. The other day, by the way, we had 120 of you in the first half an hour watch the vlog, which is unbelievable support. So thank you very much for that. Let's just check on the chat. Hello, Roy. Hope you're well. Hello, Jordan. Hello, Pete. Welcome to the channel, mate. I'm hoping speaking to my friends, the Charlton fan. Hello, Georgia. Oh, get out. I know who that is. Thomas, I'll be having words with you later, son. Blackpool, I bet he's just said. Lancashire, la, la, la. I love that. Let me know how your team got on down below as well. How are you, Stockton ceiling? I say about, we'll come to Q&As in about 20 minutes, but I'll say this about Stockton. Stockton, in Morecambe's book, is worth more than any fee. Because Morecambe won't get a better striker than Cole Stockton for what they will get. They'll probably get around about between £500,000 and £1 million. They cannot, in my opinion, get a better striker than that for what he does for the team. Back to goal, amazing. Holds the ball, brings others into play, scores goals, ice cold in front of goal, loves the football club, loves the idea of keeping Morecambe in the league, loves being the main man. Why wouldn't he stay? He's just signed a 2-year deal. He can go all the way. But for me, Morecambe are finally in a position, for the first time probably in their history, where they don't need to sell him. Because they've sold Lavelle. They've got rid of a few big hitters in the summer. They've got the money from promotion. They're a sustainable club. They got 4,000 in League One the other day, by the way, which is a brilliant achievement. Unbelievable for Morecambe. Fleetwood, Morecambe rivals over the last few years. We've not really played them. It's unbelievable. So fair play to Morecambe on that one. Right. Let's go on to the League One table. Now, let me know how you think your team are doing so far this year, because, Fleetwood, my team, 18th. It's not a bad start. 2 wins, 3 draws. Those have come in the last 5 games, though, because we lost our last 3 games. So are your team coming on an upward trend or a downward trend? So we're going to start from the bottom, and it's Doncaster, Crewe, Charlton and Ipswich, 4 points, 6 points, 6 points and 7 points. Now, you have a look on that bottom 4. Ipswich and Crewe are a bit more on an upward trend recently, starting to collect points, whereas Charlton and Doncaster are a bit of a disaster, really. Let's be honest with you. Absolutely terrible at the moment. And then you just look above them. Shrewsbury, again, getting better, 8 points from 15. So those bottom 4 need to start winning games of football, because the sides just above them are gaining momentum. And the 4 that came up are currently sat 9th, are currently sat 14th, 16th, and 12th. So it's unbelievable how the top four are doing. Bolton are expected to do well. Morecambe are expected to be above the relegation zone at this time. But Cambridge and Cheltenham are holding their own. Both of them have won 3 times this year. Both of them are actually on the same points as well, 12 points. So it's a great achievement what both sides are doing at the moment. So, the side above the relegation don't need to get better. Fleetwood have done that. Lincoln are doing that. Morecambe have, got 4 points from the last 6 games after a rocky spell. Burton and downward trend. They are going down and down. No winning 6. I think they won the first 3 games since then. Drawn 3, lost 3. Cheltenham and Oxford. We've just said Cheltenham fizzling. 1 minute they're great, 1 minute they're not so great. But that's a newly promoted side. That's a mid-table side. That's what you want. Oxford just need to stop dropping points. You need to be a bit more stern. You need to be a bit more mentally tough, like we talked about Portsmouth. And then you have a look at just outside the playoffs, your Accringtons, your Wimbledons, your Boltons, your Pompeys, your Wendy's, and your Cambridge. Now, I wonder how many people expected MK Dons, Plymouth, Rotherham, and Wycombe. I only predicted 2 of those to be in the top 6. Plymouth I expected to be up there after the first 3 or 4 games, and I watched them against Fleetwood. MK Dons, unbelievable, 2 points a game. But Wigan and Sunderland, I tell you what, take a bow. To get 19 points after 8 games, only dropped 5 points. Wigan lost their first game of the season. Sunderland lost like the 3rd game of the season. And they both just keep winning games of football. And again, Sunderland win a game of football by 1 goal. They've only not done that once this season. That was against Wycombe. So they've won 5 of their first 6 games just by 1 goal. You know what that is? That is mental toughness. That is a will to win. That is a winning mentality. That is what promotion sides do. That is what good managers do. That is what good, football players can do. That's what experience can do. They've got a mixture. Youth, your Hoffenheim in goal who's unreal. Then you've got your Sirkin at left back who's a young lad. You've got Doyle, he's 17. Can't even go to. I'm 19 and he's 17. He's like a 7-foot giant. I'm 19. It looks like a 12-year-old. Unbelievable. What they've got. And then you've got your experience and your McGeady's, your Gooches, your Stewarts. Your Pritchard played the other day as well. So I like that top 2. Wigan and Sunderland, if they can keep it up, that could be the top 2. It really could be. And I fail to see any. I can see MK Dons possibly challenging Plymouth having a go, but I can't see Wednesday. I can't see Portsmouth at this moment in time. I can't see, Lincoln. I can't see, Bolton even. These sides challenging for the top 2. I can see those maybe challenging for the top 6. But Wigan and Sunderland, I don't care about who's got the most talented squad, who's got the biggest squad. Plymouth, they'll say, the squad's not big enough. I can tell you this now. If you've got a 23-man squad and it's thin, you're never tired when you're winning games of football back-to-back. You're never tired. Blackpool did it last year. Fleetwood went 18 unbeaten the other year. Sheffield United did it. Sheffield United basically play the same 11 every week and just put the same subs on. And you're never tired when you're winning every game. And that is what winners do. And that's why I've been so impressed with Wigan and Sunderland. Both of their fans think I hate them when all I do is that I have high expectations for them. And at first, when I watched them, they didn't hit that. Now they are hitting it. Wigan, Lang, Wyke, McLean, Cousins, Naylor, Watmore, Amos. By the way, Wigan have faced the least amount of shots this year in League One. They've got a very good goalkeeper and they don't concede chances. Where the bottom 6 in League One will do. Sunderland, again, find a way to win. Pritchard, Gooch, Stewart, McGeady, unbelievable. It's going to be a tight one this year. Let me know your top 6 predictions down below and we'll go through them. How many of those do I think could break? How many do I think those will be in the top 6 by the end of the year? It wouldn't surprise me if all 6 were in there. It really wouldn't, because I think Wycombe are good enough. I don't think Portsmouth will get into the playoffs this year. They are where I predicted them at the start of the year. I think I said 9th or 10th for them. They need a reality check, a lot of these bigger clubs. Wednesday, they need a kick up the backside. They just need a win. When they played Fleetwood, they were the better side. They deserved to win. There's no one. But they weren't great. They created a lot of chances. They just weren't getting on the end of it. It's like, well, they should be. Like, they weren't nasty. And I'm like, well, he's been too nice. Nice sides don't get you anywhere in League One. It really, really doesn't. And it just needs to change those sides. But Wigan and Sunderland, they'll take where they are right now. Let's go through kind of the goals. Now, Wimbledon this year, unbelievable start. They scored 9 set pieces this year, AFC Wimbledon. That is 4 more than any other. Fleetwood on 5 set piece masterclass. Wimbledon have been involved in 31 goals this year. Then it's Morecambe on 29. Great start for them. Bolton 28. MK Dons 27. AP Jawson on 28. Fleetwood 26. Most of those have come in the last few games. I think Fleetwood have been involved in 21 goals in the last 5 games. 2-2s, 2-2s, 4-2s, 3-2s. I thought we'd be winning 1-0 or drawing 0-0 to get survival this year. Grayson masterclass or what? And then you look at, your goal scorer, Stockton on 8. He's got a 10 in all competitions this year. I think that's the most in any of the leagues as well. Ryan Hardy, 6. Scully, 6. What a player, by the way. Bon on 5. Smith, 5. Ironside, 5. There's a lot of, key players this year that I really think could do okay. Now, I'm going to go on to Tuesday's games now and just basically have a run-through, really, of how I feel they will do, really. There's 12 games to predict, and I want you to come along with me, and we'll get your feedback on this one. So, there we go. So, we're going to start off with Burton against Portsmouth. Burton, 6th without a win, and Portsmouth 6th without a win. I'm going to go a draw in that one. I'll go 1-1. Let me know down below your predictions for that one. Because both sides need a win. Both sides could do with a clean sheet. Both sides just, 1-0 is the best scoreline in football. I don't care what anyone says about that. Let me know. I'd rather win 1-0 than 5-4 every day of the week. I like keeping clean sheets. I like being centre back, and I like scoring goals. So I'm going to go Burton 0, Portsmouth 0. Luke has gone for 2-1 to Portsmouth. He thinks Portsmouth will score 2 goals for the 3rd game in a row. Obviously drew 2-2 with Plymouth last weekend. Cambridge against Gillingham. I'll go for a Cambridge winning that one. I don't think Gillingham are quite at the race at the moment. And I think Cambridge were good the other day. They're a competitive side. Charlton against Bolton. Charlton need a win. I think, if they don't get a win in the next 2 games, I think Atkins will be the first manager to go, if I'm honest with you. I think he's on very thin ice. New owners, they haven't spent all this money for no reason. And they're a football club that are a demanding, fan base. So, Bolton, one of the best sides away. I think Bolton will nick this. I think Bolton will win 2-0, really. They were lucky the other day. Possibly could have got something against Rotherham. They dominated that game. I think something's coming for Bolton. I think they'll win. I'd rather win 9-0 than 1-0, Ben. No, 1-0 is the trick to give me heart problems. I tell you a story, right? When we played Sunderland 2-2, I checked my heart rate on my Apple Watch when we won the penalty, right? Before, as Jed was stepping up. It was 198, by the way. The most I can be is 201. 198 beats per minute. I'm not being funny, right? Football, I tell you what, it's no good for your heart. Tell you that. Ipswich against Doncaster, I think it'd be a straightforward Ipswich win for that. I think, it's a good week's work if they can get a win out of that. I think you've got to forget the start of the season. You've got to look at the positives, Get a win tomorrow. 2 wins from 3. Drew Sheffield Wednesday, a tough game. And then go into the next block of 3 and see if we can get again another 6 or 7. It's all about momentum in football. And if they can go 5 or 6 unbeaten, go silently about the business, as if Fleetwood have done, as if Wigan have done, as if Sunderland have done, as if MK Dons, as Plymouth have done. Momentum is everything in football. You get a couple of draws, all of a sudden you're unbeaten, and it's like, can we go 3 unbeaten? Can we go 4 unbeaten? And then all of a sudden, the players start to believe that they can win any game of football. So I think Ipswich will win that. MK Dons, Fleetwood. I do believe MK Dons will beat Fleetwood. I think they'll have about 98%, about 75% of possession. Fleetwood are reliant on the counter-attack. Will it benefit us? Probably not. MK Dons like to get the ball quickly. So do Fleetwood. We like to, They'll sometimes go long, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. I'll go 2-0 MK Dons in this one. Another clean sheet for the Dons. Morecambe Lincoln. Now, Morecambe, I tell you what, this wouldn't be a bad one for the bets for both teams to score. I think Lincoln will win this one. They're good away from home. I think they're the second best side away from home at the moment. But Morecambe are strong at the Mazuma Stadium. Although they did get a great 3-1 win against Crewe the other day away from home. Oxford against Accrington, I think Oxford will get a win. I think it's important for them to get 3 points, forget about it. I think a clean sheet would be a factor as well. If you can win with a clean sheet, be a perfect night work for Carl Robinson. Plymouth against Crewe. Again, Crewe and Doncaster at home. You look at it at the moment, it's like, we can get 6 points there. It's a great boost. You know what I mean? You can really kind of step up really in the playoffs. They're on 18 points, they're 4 points above Rotherham. They're there for a reason, and like 5 or 6 points above, the 7th place getting into the playoffs. So, get another win, get a bit of a stepping stone. So you kind of thought maybe a slip up here and there. Rotherham against Wimbledon, I think a Rotherham win just. Wimbledon are improved. They're tight defensively normally, but not this year. They're leaking goals, but they're scoring goals. Joe Pigott, who? Shrewsbury Wycombe, draw 1-1 for me. Sunderland against Charlton. I'm going to go for a Sunderland win. Just. No, I'm joking. 2-0 to Sunderland. Charlton, by the way, coming off the back of playing Wigan. Yeah, who's next? Who can be bounced back against? Sunderland away. I'll tell you what. Can Sunderland make it 6 wins from 6 and be the only side in the Football League to do it? I know Coventry in the Championship have won 5 out of 5 as well. But in League One, perfect start. And Wigan against Sheffield Wednesday. Now, there's going to be about 10 to 15,000 fans tomorrow. I know Wednesday are bringing 4,000, which is unbelievable support. Let's go and see where I rank them in my League One top 10 fan bases down below. What score do I think? I'm going to go for a draw. A draw just, I think. I think both sides, Wigan momentum, a draw would do them good, but a Wednesday win is more needed in my opinion. Now, let me know some Q&A questions down below. Now, this is the time to ask me anything that you want. We've got about 15 minutes of the Q&A. But while we're here, we will plug the channel. Please remember to like and subscribe, guys. It would be massively appreciated. And also subscribe to the channel if you are new. But yeah, keep your questions coming in, guys, and we'll answer as many as we can. And like I said, if you don't follow me on Twitter, then, get following. We will, put some of these clips out later. Greater now. Get out of it. Get out of it. 5 unbeaten with a squad of the average age of about 24 with 3 players over the age of 35 in it feels. He's doing a very good job, Simon Grayson. And I must praise that because I gave him horrendous abuse when he first joined. So, Grayson, terrific job so far. What made you support Fleetwood? It was a local side. Blackpool, obviously, at the time when I got into football, were protesting against the Oystons, so I didn't want to go there. Fleetwood made me feel happy, made me feel loved, made me feel adored, and I loved it. I just loved the atmosphere of, the non-league step-up, right, really. Wigan won, Sheffield Wednesday won, hoping for a win. Come on, you Owls. A huge game, Mitchell, and it's, again, a game that you kind of really need to win because it's like, you go a game without a draw and it's like, oh, we're 5 undefeated, whereas Wigan, they're 8 without defeat. So it's that difference between winning and losing. It's, your draw is a good result. If you're winning and it's, if you're losing, it's no, it's not a great result. How big is Fleetwood? Morecambe? It's not massive because they've not really played them because they've been in League 2, doing very well for themselves in League 2. I'm not putting them down. And we played them once in the cup, like a crappy pizza cup. And I'm looking forward this year. We're playing twice in about a month, so it should get feisty. November, then we play them a week before Christmas. So, Morecambe's rivals are mainly Barrow and Lancaster and, Accrington, Stanley. And ours have been mainly, Barrow and Blackpool over the last few years, even though Blackpool don't consider us a rival at all. Do you think Sunderland will get promoted? Yes, I think this is the year. I think they're as strong as anyone in the division. They've got mental toughness. They see out games. They win games of football. They win ugly. They can, they've won 5 of the first 6, by 1 goal. They can score goals. They've got goals on the side. They've got creativity now in Embleton, Pritchard, Gooch, McGeady. Then they've got the firepower in those players to score goals as well. And you've got goals from, midfield as well, which I really like. Winchester scored his 3rd goal of the season. He's been, a very versatile player. You've got Luke O'Nine, O'Neill, who's a good player as well. So, I like their side. I like the manager normally. Lee Johnson, Streaky Lee, as he's called. He knows how to, get a side organised. He's normally at a side for a while, as you saw with, Bristol City. So let's just have a look. It'd be interesting to say, I think we need to change the back 4. Yes, this is what I want to say. Now, me and Tony spoke about this in July, and he said to me, he believed we can see too many chances. And what I did, I went back and I watched kind of extended highlights of 10 to 12 minutes of 5 games last year. And we were conceding a region of about 6 or 7 chances a game, and Cairns was getting us out of the mud, a lot of them, with a back 5. Every time we go to a back 4, we get back into the game. Sunderland, we change the shape against Cambridge, we get back into the game. With a back 4, we'll concede as many chances as we do with the back 5, basically. But we'll have more going forward, and we'll have a bit more creativity going forward. So if we're going to do that, let's have a go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think the back 3 personally works, but how can I question Grayson for the job he's done so far? But unlike Burton, Grayson will actually change it to a back 4 when we need to, and he'll make the changes, which is a good kind of thing in a manager to have, but sometimes just needs it a bit earlier. What is your opinion on the stadium? I know it's small, but as a good character, it's a good stadium, Fleetwood, for what we have. What we need it for. Old-fashioned, it's unique. You'll certainly remember it. A video on League One stadiums coming very, very soon. Which team has been the most tragic in the window? I think you've got to have a look at a few. I think Wigan have done very well. They brought, players with experience in your Nailers and your Watmores. Then you brought in, your little bit of flares in your McLeans, who've got experience as well. They've kept Darigwa, who was a star of last year. They've kept Lang. They've got Wyke up front, who scores goals. You've got, Guion Edwards, who can score goals. They brought Cousins in. So they brought a bit of mixture of everything. They've got youth, experience, a nice blend. I also believe Morecambe did well in the window. I thought they signed plenty. I think Plymouth as well. Defensively, they needed to improve, which they have done. Bolton as well brought a lot of good players. Athlone came back to the football club on a permanent deal, on a 3-year deal, which is very good. So I think those 4 teams, you've got to look at it. Your Boltons, your Wigans, your Morecambes, and they're where they are on the table for a reason. Wigan currently sit top, Bolton are challenging for the playoffs, and Morecambe are more than holding their own in League One, which I think if you ask all 3 sets of supporters, they would have all taken at the start of the season. Is tomorrow a must-win game for Paul? I think it is. I think every game for Ipswich is a must-win game now. And it's a game where early on it could define Ipswich's season. It really could, because if they lose it, it's kind of like, well, that win at Lincoln just meant nothing, really. Do you know what I mean? It's like it was a win. You know what I mean? And when are we going to win again? Whereas if they win it, they've got 7 points out of Lincoln, Sheffield Wednesday and Doncaster, which is a tough 3 games, really, demanding on the players 10 games. Fair play if you can get 7 points. So it's huge. If they win tomorrow, they could go on a great run. If they lose tomorrow, where will they go from there? It's going to be an interesting climatise that. But I think they'll get the win, just though. If you can bring ex-legal player back, who would it be and why? Vardy. He bags me, didn't he? How did Shane McLaughlin's red card? Oh, my God. If you have, was it a red? I think it wasn't. In my opinion, it wasn't. I'll be honest with you. I watched all the highlights of every League One game about 3 to 4 hours ago, and I saw it and I'm like, yellow card, but why has he got a red card? By the way, Stewie got sent off for Wickham the other day. There was Harding for Rotherham, and then there was McLaughlin. So a lot of sending offs, one in every, 4 games the other day. I didn't think Stewart's was for Wickham. I didn't think McLaughlin's was. And Harding's, I think, was a foul, but do I think it was a red? I'm not quite sure. So I think all 3 on another day might not be given. Do you think Sheffield Wednesday will get promoted? I think they'll be the top 8. That's all I'll say. They need to improve. They need to get a winning mentality quickly. They need to sort it out, basically. Would you rather Fleet win the Papa John's Trophy or get in the League One playoffs? Get in the League One playoffs so that I can cry me out again on another video. The Papa John's Trophy means nothing. It's good money for the football club, but you probably get that money for being on Sky in the playoffs in 3 games. You know what I mean? If you get to the final. Wigan Wednesday thoughts. 2 good sides that should be up there at the end of the year. 2 different clubs going in there with mentality. One with a winning one and know how to win, and 2 that's forgot how to win, and a bit of pressure's been put under them. And it's how that's what I mean with Wednesday. If they can react good to this 5-game barren run, which I've said every side in this division will go on a bad run at some point this season. If they can react well to this, they are a side of champions. They're a side that can go up. They are a side that can challenge with anyone. They will challenge those top 2 for me because they have a winning mentality and they know how to win. That is what Sheffield Wednesday need to do. They need to grind out results and grind out those clean sheets. If you could sign one player from another League One club, that is a very good player. That's a very good question, actually. I tell you what, I'm going to go a bit outside the box here. I'm going to go for Adam Phillips at Morecambe. Not a lot of people are going to agree with me, and a lot of people are going to think, why? Because I feel Camps is a very good attacking midfield in a free roam. Ross is very good at what he does. If you can get Adam Phillips in that midfield 3, we've got creativity. We've got a box-to-box midfielder, a Kyle Dempsey type that can score goals. He's got a goal and assist against Accrington last Saturday. Obviously, Morecambe first half of the year last year, then Accrington, then back to Morecambe. I didn't feel it's a bit outside the box, but I think he's got enough creativity in him. And I don't like going for these obvious ones, your Stocktons, your Hardys, your Scullys, your Ironsides, those types of players. I want to go for someone a little bit different and give someone else a mention. Cos versus Morecambe, rivalry used to be bigger in non-league. Morecambe used to be the more senior club who would offer to take our best players at the time. Exactly. But Morecambe, Fleetwood, Wimbledon, Burton, Accrington, Cheltenham, Cambridge are all in League One. It is an unbelievable achievement, that. And I've been impressed with Paddy Lane so far. What a player. He's in our ears and in his eyes, scoring goals for the fun. What a player. The older fans of maybe classical music might understand that one. Go on, the Beatles. I feel like the Lancashire footballing is a very good place. Exactly. We mentioned this last week. Look at Burnley. They are in the bottom 3 of the Premier League. Burnley being in the Premier League. Blackburn won, 4-5-1 the other day. Doing well in the Championship. Preston are, holding their own in the Championship. Blackpool, 3 wins in 4, doing very well for themselves, as I knew they would do. Fleetwood getting better. Morecambe on the rise. Accrington as well. Then you have a look at, sides in non-league. Fylde doing very well as well. So, like I say, I really agree with you. And there's a lot of the season still to go. We're getting towards that 10-game marker that we can discuss it. The next step is, in my opinion, is the 16-game mark with 30 games to go. Do you think Ipswich will be in the mix this season? If so, when? Ipswich should always be in the mix. The squad's starting to gel. They brought Celine, who looks like the hidden gem. Bond looks sharp. Chaplin's got his goal the other day. I think he's got a couple now this year. Burns is doing okay. If only conceded 1 in the last 2 games, which is better than what they were. They're conceding 2.5 a game, really. So if they can keep clean sheets, they've got goals in them to do well. So I think in the next 8 games, we'll see if they can get 4 wins, 2 draws, maybe in the next 8 games. That's 14 points. No, it's not ideal, but you're getting better and you're improving. It's not all about kind of winning every game. It's all about the most consecutive team to get points over a 46-game season. And you can do that average, 1.8 points a game. You'll be there or thereabouts. I reckon around the playoffs, though, for you this year, mate. I reckon it's unlikely for the last 2. It was already a red card. No, it wasn't for me. Soft. Thoughts on Sunderland, Ben? Unbelievable, just unbelievable. I'll put the clip on at on my Twitter at the end what I've said about Sunderland, but just the mentality. It's a winning mentality, and they don't react like that in the last few years. The way they reacted impressed me. And in the last 7 days, 8 days, I've gone from Sunderland top 6 to potentially challenging Wigan for the league that I didn't think anyone could. Let's see. What is your favourite Fleetwood game you've watched over the years? I think the playoff finals got to be up there. I think the Mansfield game at home when we won 5-4 was a great game as well. There's a lot, really. Stuart red card has been taken away and you can play tomorrow. Yeah, that's a good decision. You know, he's a key man for Wickham in that back five. Him, Tazza Foley, then you've got, you know, your Jacobsons, you've got your Sully Kaikais that can play down the flanks as well. If MK get promoted, do our pitch invasion. Who are the worst fan base in League One? I've seen another question. No, I think I don't like calling out any fan base because I think to be a proper fan, you go every week. Like, Fleetwood get the stick, but you've got to praise the ones that do travel to these away games. It's, you know, expensive. We're living in a COVID world where people are still fearful, media brainwashed as well a little bit as well. Then again, people lost jobs, again, losing out on income, can't afford to go to every game. You know, it's long trips as well. So every fan that goes to an away game or goes to a home game, that just goes to a game, I applaud. So I don't think there is such a thing as, you know, a worse fan base. Obviously, there's bigger clubs than others. And if you rephrase that smallest club, Fleetwood will probably be the smallest in League One, if I'm honest with you. Or Accrington, you know, as well. But, you know, I don't think there is a worse fan base. Thoughts on Sunderland? I like them. I really do. I think the fans are terrific. I think they've got a great side. I don't get where this rumour's come from where I hate them. I really don't. I'm harsh on them because I expect a certain level from them. When they don't hit it, I'll call them out. If you could choose one house player for Fleetwood, who would it be and what? Barry Bannon, what a player. Wonderful left foot, wonderful right foot. Just a shame he can't take a penalty, isn't it? Do you think Ipswich will finish in the top 6? Yes. Worst home fans in the league? Ooh, tell you what, that's a good question. I'm going to say this. Rotherham away from home or unreal. Like City, unreal away, awful at home. I'm going to say Rotherham. Unreal away, awful at home. Didn't hear him once. We signed him from Hyde, Callum United in the 8th year of football. It's unreal. Like, we're finally finding James and giving him a chance. Shaden Morris came through our youth system. Jed Garnett, no one wanted to know him, came back into the side. You know, Paddy Lane, unbelievable. You know, Biggins. You've got, you know, James Hill come through the youth academy. Howard Oldgate injured at the moment. Fleetwood have been very unlucky with injuries, by the way. Darnell Johnson and Brad Halliday are out for the season. Then we've got Oldgate injured. We've got Barty just recovered from COVID. Edmondson just recovered as well. We've been so unlucky this year. We'll come to your last questions now. Do you think Plymouth Argyle will get the playoffs or higher? Yes. I really do. I think they've got enough goals. They've got a front two that can score goals and a midfield, you know, 3 that have got energy and, you know, charismatic play that they play. They play good football, get it on the floor, play with purpose. Favourite Fleetwood player that you've seen play? Alex Cairns by a country mile. All-time favourite Fleetwood player. He's an unbelievable player. Who's your favourite Fleetwood player? Answer that one. Any more questions? Let's go to your last question. Ben, why do you hate Sunderland? Don't you start. 32,000 is, yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, you know something, that for Sunderland now, you don't even look at the attention, you think, average. It's Sunderland for you, know what I mean? It's like, the fans are crazy. A lot. And our attentions haven't really gone down that much, if I'm honest with you. What would you do about What do you think about MK Dons so far this season? Unbelievable, great start to the season, scoring goals. I think they scored 17 this year and you let 10 in. You've got Parrott up front. You've got Scott Twining behind. You've got, Max Waters, Ethan Robson, Boateng, Kizavo as well. So they've got a very good all-round squad. Manning's done a good job, settled the nerves down. Isa as well is a very good player. They've got goals from all over. They create a lot of chances. They score a lot of goals. They keep clean sheets. They've got character to come from behind. I like this MK Dons side. I think they're probably the best side since they had, the Dele Allis and the Will Griggs and Coes. Why can't this MK Dons side go all the way? That's what I say. I think Wigan could get over 90, but I think there'll be two sides this year that'll go up. With top two will get 90 points or more. That's just my opinion. Thoughts on Charlton? Need a win. Win tomorrow, win Fleetwood, or lose the next two. The next two games are crucial for their season. If they lose the next two, I don't think they'll have a stick for the top six. We said that about Barnsley when they were, bottom by November. They were finished top six and won against Millwall in playoff final. So let's just have a look at it. They need to win tomorrow. They need to get 4 points preferably out of Bolton and Fleetwood. If they can get that, I think it's a good return. A lot of our Gal fans in today. Good to see you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Luca. Do you think Bon, if he scores goals like this, I basically put it down as Bon's goal the other day for that cleverness and the cheekiness and the confidence to do it. Fair play. Him, Chaplin, Burns could be the best sign for the opposition. No, I'm only joking. Burns, can create chances as well. He's been, okay for you so far. So I think, possibly one of those. Cam Burgess as well could turn out to be a good deal. He creates a lot of chances. He'll run past a lot of plays, but his end product, Tony said it a lot. He'll have a good game every 1 in every 7, 1 in every 8 games. And you need to have a good game every game, basically, or every 1.5 games. You know what I mean? There's a much more expectation, but he's fast, energetic, and will create chances in a better Ipswich side as well. Ben, I only said last year, we go up last season, he gave us 6 million. That's unreal. Ooh, you're going to need it, though, because to compete in the Championship, Hull and Peterborough are finding it tough. Hull haven't won since opening day of season, and Peterborough can't win away or can't even score away. I think they lost 12-3 in the last 3 away games combined. So you do need to spend a little bit when you go, hey, Blackpool learned that, and that's why they rushed to sign, a right back. If Stockton slows down with goals, yeah, that'll happen. We saw that with Fleetwood with Callum Camps last year, remember, where he had this good start to the season, got to kind of mid-November, say mid-October this year, because we're a month behind last year. We started on 12th September this year. We started on 7th of August. You've got to remember, he will slow down. He won't score at this rate forever. They just need to keep the back door shut. If they can keep the back door shut, they'll be okay. But if they keep leaking goals like this, I do worry for them. But Morecambe have never been relegated in the history. They've been involved in 29 goals this year. They scored 7 goals that haven't involved Cole Stockton. They've got the Phillips. They've got the, Timani Diarra's. You've got your Arthur Gano, who's been very good, by the way. I think he's been one of the best players in League One since joining Morecambe. I think he's got 3 or 4 assists as well. Maybe an unsung hero in that side. No idea. Who's timing you out? Sorry about that, mate. Sam Morsey coming in for Ipswich. Fair play. Up the greens. Ben. I tell you, I had an unbelievable pie at Fleetwood the other day. They've changed the mate. It's changed the game. Chicken Boltley pie. But I'm going to say Wickham. No word of a lie. I had one on the last day of the season when we played a few years ago. A chicken Boltley. I was impressed. Where else have I had a good... I tell you, the worst one I've had was Bradford. A sausage roll from Bradford. Ugh. They say don't go to Bradford. Don't eat in Bradford. Best class channel. Keep up the good work. I know I'm going to get a Wigan pie this year. I sub Ben, mate. Thank you very much. Get subscribing down below, guys. It would be appreciated. There are 35 likes. Let's try and get to 40 likes by the time we finish. We are going to end the show in a couple of seconds. So if you could like, subscribe, that'd be appreciated. I can't wait to drink some cans. And let's get to Kingies, Jordan. Big Boozy Bash. Dan Batty, Alex Cairns. Barton's coming. No, everyone's invited except Max Clark, let's be honest with you, because he said no to Kings. £5 for hot dog at Portsmouth, unbelievable. Oof, tell you what. Anyway, I will see you in the next stream. Please remember to like. Please remember to subscribe. I hope you have enjoyed it. It's been a great stream. I have, thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been a good one. I always enjoy interacting with you guys as ever. I think it's a good way of doing this. And if you do enjoy it, leave a like, leave a subscription. And more League One content coming this week. MK Don's vlog tomorrow. We'll have that on the channel from about 10:30, 11:15. Get notifications on. Just do it now while you're on the channel. Hit that notification bell and let me know that you were there early in the video tomorrow. We'll also be doing one of these on Wednesday at the same time as we looked on the Tuesday fixtures and towards Saturday's fixtures. EFL pundits in 3 games weeks. You'll be honest with you, by Thursday, you're knackered and you're looking already at Saturday. Thank you for watching today's stream. I hope you did enjoy it. Safe journey tomorrow. Thank you, Tony. Exactly. We might miss it. Blink and we'll miss it. Exactly. Thanks very much. All the best to your team tomorrow. I hope you enjoy it. Have a good evening. Up the Cods.